to the stage. All right.
Hey.
We should be live, hopefully. Hello, everybody.
Hiya.
We're going to check our YouTube in a moment. We'll probably stall here for a few seconds. Yeah, I see us up on the screen, so we are good to go. So again, welcome. This is Mark.
Monica.
We're with the Digital Romads. We thank you all for joining us here in our first live of 2025. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
We're joining you from Bangkok, Thailand. We've been here since right before Christmas, and we plan on being here through about January 18th before we head back to the USA. And we're going to be in California for a little bit, and then we're going to end up taking a Panama Canal cruise on Oceania. We've never done Panama Canal all the way through. We've been down to that area before on a land vacation, but we've never actually been on a ship crossing through the canal. I honestly don't know if we're doing the new one or the old one. I'm not really sure. I haven't really checked the details too much on this booking. We booked it a while ago. It'll be our second Oceania cruise. We've done one before on the
Riviera.
Yep, the Riviera. This time it'll be on the newer ship, the Vista. So we'll share that experience with all of you in case you're curious. Obviously, it's probably like intended to be in the league of Azamara and Viking, which we've done quite a few, and we've done videos in the channel on those as well. So we'll share that experience with all of you. From there, we'll be in Florida for a little bit, and eventually we'll be making our way back over to Europe. So I think at that point, we'll be in France and Spain, a little bit of Portugal again. Yeah, and that'll take us into like April, and then we head over to Japan. We're going to meet up with some friends there, which we're really looking forward to. And we'll do the World's Expo. Is it World's Expo?
Yeah, the World Expo in Osaka.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll spend a little time in Japan, Tokyo. And then we will hop on a cruise and we'll do sort of like southern Japan on the Diamond Princess, which will also let you know how that goes overall. And then we'll do some more time in Japan before ultimately we end up doing a crossing on the Ovation of the Seas, Royal Caribbean. That's one of the ones we recommended to you all in one of our deal videos because the deal was crazy. And that'll get us back to California, I think, before the summer starts.
In June, I think. And somewhere in all of that, there's another cruise, another crossing, and that is going to be the Celebrity Apex from Miami to, is it Rome? I think it is, or Barcelona.
I don't remember. That sounds good.
We're going to have to just check the list.
We're getting across the ocean one way or the other. We have to get to Europe from the US, so we almost always try to do a crossing if we can, because as you guys know, the deals are crazy. They're so good. So it just makes sense to do that.
And we love the Celebrity Edge class. I'm very excited about getting back on one of those.
Yeah, it'll be Apex. I'm not sure if we said that, but that'll be the ship that we're on. So we are putting together a summary of what we did in 24, like how many days in hotels, cruise ships, at some of the real estate that we have, fractionals, etc. So we did spend quite a bit of time on the ocean. We spent a lot of time in Hyatt's. So we did earn Globalist, which is our favorite program by far. We can take questions on any of this. Definitely start to put that into the comments. Any questions you have about cruising, hotels, air, what we do. If you want to do something like this, part-time, full-time, more than happy to answer any of your questions on that. I know one thing we wanted to do was give a quick little talk about one of the key topics, which is giving you some advice on how to save the most on your next cruise bookings. Some of this advice will actually pertain to anything you do, whether it's hotels, resorts, tours, etc. So we do want to do that first, and then we'll kind of start to look at comments. Let me see if there's any other comments that we need to show here. So Brenda, Happy New Year to you as well. We've got Laura. Did I get that right? Laurel, Happy New Year. Thanks for that. Tom, appreciate you being here. Happy New Year to you as well. We got Michael here. Awesome. Let's see. Oh, okay. So Tom says he's taking a full crossing on February 5th. Should be fun. Where are you going out of, Tom, and where are you heading to? Maybe you know your itinerary better than we do. So let's hope. We should probably know when we're actually boarding. Brenda says, Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you as well. Thanks for being here. Olga, awesome. Happy New Year. And let's see. Oh, Terry, Happy New Year. Make Globalist. Hey, congratulations. Status match to MSG. That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, the Hyatt Globalist program, it's the best. We always try to stay there if we can. Problem is you don't have Hyatts everywhere. So we've looked at some places and they just don't exist. But it is really nice to get recognized. I kind of find like we are in an IHG right now. It's a really nice hotel here in Thailand, and we're Diamond Elite on IHG. And we got a room upgrade, which is nice, but you don't get much more than that. Like they don't really say much. We're supposed to get a little something when we check in, didn't get it. However, when we check in as a globalist, like we always get the lounge if they have it, always get free breakfast, virtually always get a room upgrade. I don't know, they just treat you really, really well. So I think when you think about the money of all the value, plus if they have a lounge, you basically get dinner every night. It's really well worth it. The globalists and the lounges are way better outside of the US, by the way. If you ever travel international, the lounges in Asia will blow you away, what you get versus what you get in the US. So just keep that in mind. Breakfast is comparable, but the evening part of it is completely different experience. Yeah. The alcohol is free. We were at the New York Hyatt, Grand Hyatt. You had to pay for everything in the lounge except for the food, which was a lot of stuff was like packaged. You had to open up a wrapper to get into a packaged bagel.
That's so 2020.
Yeah. So anyway, it's quite a bit different here overseas. But anyway, congrats. You'll love it. That's awesome.
Yeah. And then Marriott's our backup plan, right? Our backup.
Yeah.
Which is also great overseas, as we found in Albania.
That was a nice one. That was one of our nicest stays in 24.
Nice lounge. Yeah.
Yeah. So we have a status with them. Next year, we've already plotted it out. We're going to do anything we can to get to qualify for Globalist again in 2026. I don't think we're going to get Platinum Elite, I think it's called, on Marriott. We just don't have enough nights with everything else that we're doing. Even though we're traveling full time, we're not going to be able to get 2 programs unless they come up with some great promotion and let us buy into it or something. All right. So anyway, shoot us more questions as they come in. Let's go ahead and do this quick presentation. I've never used this stream before.
Tom's doing Panama Canal out of Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, awesome.
That'll be great.
Oh, cool. Yeah, perfect. We are going out of Fort Lauderdale, I think, too. And who knows
March
where
8th.
we're ending up. Yep, on the apex there. All right, so now I need to figure out, I'm going to go ahead and hit present. And we're going to share screen. Give me all a second here. You can tell this is live. So hopefully this is working for all of you. Fingers crossed. We may have disappeared from the screen. I'm not really sure. Maybe we're in the corner somewhere, or we're over on the side.
I think we're on the side. Yeah.
Oh, looks good. Looks good. Actually, one thing I need to do is, let me see if I can. Sorry. I don't mean to take you down off of there, Terry, but I got to get your comment down. That should come off the screen. All right, so let's go ahead and go over this real quick. These are just quick 10 top 10 travel hacks for budget-friendly cruises, but a lot of this will apply. And these are some strategies you can use here in 2025. So the first one is pretty simple. Try to book when you can, avoiding prime time. When our daughter was younger, we used to always do this. And then when she selfishly got into school and started going to school, and we couldn't go during shoulder season, was so frustrating. But you know how it is. You end up battling with everybody over spring break. You battle with everybody over the summer. You're going to get your best deals if you can post up right before the summer season, right after it. When kids are back in school is always a good guideline. For sure, if you can avoid spring break in a lot of regions, probably a good idea. So yeah, that's what I would have to say on this. Your savings can be 25 to 50%. Anything else you want to add on that?
Yeah, well, and this obviously applies to just general travel, because summers can be super, super busy these days. So it's cheaper to go in the shoulder season, but also it's more comfortable and you're not going to be competing with so many people.
Yeah. And, you can get pretty close to the summer. Like June is typically, early June is going to be better than July. So yeah, you'll still get some of the great weather. And also weather, you know what, almost always is better off peak.
It can get really hot in the summer.
Yeah, for sure.
In Europe and other places. Japan for sure.
Oh yeah, we've had some hot summers in Japan. So repositioning magic. We've got multiple videos on this. We will put links down below after the replay comes out. And we've got some videos where we cover some amazing deals on repositioning. We just did the last video we did. We took you through all really pros and cons of repo cruises. You definitely want to watch that video. It's pretty short. But this is the way to get some of the best deals out there in cruising. Several of you have already said you're taking these. Those videos are really popular in the channel. So I know a lot of you either have done them or interested in doing them. And the secret of these is you can do some things you normally can't do. Look, if you want to sail on some of the newer, bigger ships, if you do a normal everyday booking, they're pretty expensive, right? Especially the new ones. If you find a repositioning on that same cruise, 25 to 50% savings. If you go for a ship that is maybe 2 to 5 years old, you could probably save 50% off of what it normally costs. And sometimes if you go for a little older ship, 5 to 10 years, I've seen 75, 80% savings on the nightly rates versus what they normally would charge. So if you've ever wanted to do a suite, opportunity. If you ever want to do aqua class on Celebrity, opportunity. Maybe you normally do inside. Maybe this is a chance to jump up to a balcony. So I think it gives you some really neat opportunities, or just do it the cheapest possible way. It's really great. And there's hundreds of these repo sailings per year. We have a pretty complete video, so we don't want to go over all the details here on that. We'll leave the link down below. Anything you want to jump in on, or is that good?
Yeah, so last minute deals are also key. I mean, if you can be spontaneous, that's the thing. Either you book way in advance, or you can try to get a deal at the last minute. And the more flexible you are, being open to different dates, then the better deal that you can potentially find.
Yeah, we find a lot of people, if you live near some port or ports, gosh, if you live in Florida, you're really lucky. Inside of 90 days, you can find some great deals. Here's the deal. Here's the deal on the deals, on last minute deals. You'll have much fewer choices. So let's just say, we always say number one priority is book way in advance. That's always my suggestion. But if you're somebody who's flexible, who lives near enough to a port, you can get to a port easily, even if you don't live close, but it's a quick, short flight that's not expensive. Just realize you may have like 2 cruises or 1 to choose from, but it could be a pretty incredible deal. So just realize you're not going to have all the choices available, but I see amazing deals. Like I see some crossings coming up in like February, March, April that are as cheap as I've ever seen them, but there's just a few of them, right? Instead of having 30 choices, there might be 3. So kind of be aware of that. And then a lot of websites have last minute deals. Sign up to them, put your email in, get spammed a little bit. It's okay. You just look at them really quick and you might pick off a really awesome deal. The next thing is, this applies to all travel. We were just talking about Hyatt Globalist, Marriott's program. We just did a status match because we're doing our first ever MSC cruise. We've never done MSC. So we wanted to do one where we booked ourselves into the yacht club, because we typically wouldn't book into a suite because it's a lot of money on all the other cruise lines, but it's probably about half of what we normally would spend on a suite somewhere else. But we're not doing it until January 2026, but we did a status match before we booked, because they give, I think, 5 or 10% off once you have your number. So we waited till they gave us our number, less than 48 hours. They status matched our Royal Caribbean status, and they would have status matched our Marriott, the Globalist, probably a car rental one. They'll status match anything. But it's worth it. I mean, that saved us, I think, almost $500. So anyway, my point being, try to be loyal to certain programs if you can. Don't spend like way more money just to stay with the booking. Like if I find a Hyatt and it's $400 a night, and then I can find a IHG or a Marriott or something else and it's $250 a night, I'm probably going to do the $250 a night. But if I can be in the range, even if the Hyatt's a little bit more, I know I'm getting so many perks, like free breakfast, free dinner, free drinks, a room upgrade. In those cases, it's probably worth it. Typically, you don't typically pay the resort tax if you use your points. Plus I'm earning points. We probably got like 5, 6 free nights this year from Hyatt. We got room upgrades. They give you a lot of stuff as you go. So I'm not just saying Hyatt, I'm just saying any program, try to stay loyal if you can. The rewards are nice. Like Royal Caribbean Diamond is awesome. We get free drinks, up to 4 or 5 more than we drink in a day. Well, one of us anyway. So anyway, those are things I would definitely do. Anything to add on that, or you're good?
I'm good. Yeah. Also, if you extras will add up. So skipping the extras can keep your costs down. Take advantage of the complimentary dining instead of doing the specialty restaurants, or splurge on a specialty here and there. Bring your own snacks to avoid onboard markups. And then take advantage of all the free activities. And on when there's lots of sea days, there's going to be a lot of activities. Yeah,
honestly, you can spend the prices we give you in our deal videos. You don't have to spend a nickel more than that, because we include gratuities, taxes, port fees, and the cruise. You do not have to buy the crazy upsells and the beverage packages. You don't have to do specialty dining. If you do, my suggestion always is book that in advance, prepay it. Usually you'll get 15 to 40% off. If you do that, once again, you're going to spam like crazy, usually by the cruise lines, but it's worth it. Don't fall further. This is expiring on Monday, because on Monday they'll have another sale that'll expire on Thursday. So you don't need to prepay it 2 years in advance. But once you're getting within range, you're definitely doing the cruise 3 months out, 6 months out. go ahead and do that, take advantage, and maybe, splurge a little bit on a meal. The nice thing again about crossings is maybe you've saved a lot on the cruise. You can do a few of the extras as well. And if you have some loyalty and some perks, some of this sometimes gets thrown in for free. But don't feel like, you need to spend a ton of money. There are people that will spend, let's say, $2,000 for the cruise, and they will walk off their bill for everything will be more than they spent for the cruise. It's really easy to do that. So just be mindful.
Yeah, especially with shore excursions. Those can really add up.
Yeah. Inside cabins are cheap. If you want the cheapest way to do it, go with an inside cabin. If you're fine with not having the balcony, remember, if you have a port intensive itinerary, does the balcony matter that much? We kind of laugh a lot when we have the balcony. I'm like, have we even stepped out onto it for more than 5 seconds to check the weather? A lot of times the answer is no. So,
I mean, if it's a Virgin cruise, I will go out there and lay in that hammock. That's when it's super worth it.
Yeah, so that might be the one exception. Get that hammock. It is really comfortable. I'm not a hammock person, but there's something about theirs on the ocean. Amazing.
Yeah, and if you're at sea, if you have a lot of sea days, then maybe you want to sit outside and just watch the ocean go by, or maybe it's not worth it just to have the balcony. Maybe you just want a view of the sea, and then you can always go up on deck.
Yeah, or do ocean view cabin, right? Ocean view is still going to be cheaper. I say like inside cabin, 50% less than a balcony, ocean view 25%, and then balconies. So this is a way to save a lot of money. It's also super dark. So if you're worried about sleep at all, it's going to be dark as could be. You will sleep. You just won't know what time it is. You can bring one of those alarm clocks. We just got our daughter one because she starts work super early. They get up at like 5:30 in the morning. So it's an alarm clock that starts to create almost like a simulated sunlight. It starts to kind of like turn on and brightens the room a little bit. So, hey, that's something you could do as well. There might be apps that do that. So it might be worth looking into. Another really cool way to save is instead of booking a specific cabin, you probably will notice when you go to book, if you get offered a guaranteed cabin in a certain class, like guaranteed balcony, guaranteed ocean view, guaranteed inside, I would save about 10%, say the savings are about 10%. Sometimes 15, but around 10%, which again, when you're spending a few $1,000s is not insubstantial.
Yeah.
The risk here is you don't know exactly what cabin you're going to get assigned. If you're really motion sensitive, kind of like I am, you may not end up in the middle of the ship. You may end up, at far forward or in the back. So if it's an area that has rougher seas, you may not want to take this chance.
Mm-hmm.
We have a cruise coming up for the first time ever. We're doing a guaranteed. So we're taking the chance, but it's on a Celebrity. It was an Aqua class. I don't remember which cruise it is coming up, but the savings were like, it was significant. And I kind of looked where all the Aqua class cabins were. And I'm like, all right, we'll be fine on any of these. They're not super high decks. And where we're going is staying close to the shore. So I'm not really worried. And I just
stable.
I take Meclizine anyway. So it doesn't matter. It was worth the savings. It was like $400 or $500. But that is another way to save some really nice money. Obviously, we talked about this a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
The drink packages these days are crazy. You need to really calculate if it's worth it, or go for one where it's included, or they have a package up front where you get to include the drinks. A lot of times we get offered like the classic beverage package on a variety of cruises. Either it's a deal or it's something that we work through a cruise-only travel agent, which we can give you details of if you leave something in the comments down below. Or go to our website, actually, and we can, in our contact screen, you can just send us an email and we'll send you all of our details. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it gets thrown in. So, you have to drink a lot to have these packages be worth it.
And I think even I would struggle to drink that much.
If even Monica would struggle. No, I'm just kidding. You would know. Monica likes wine. So, we'll have a few glasses. But when you start to think about it, you're like, okay, I have to drink like 4 or 5 glasses of wine. I have to have cocktails at midday. I have to have water, coffees. It's
Bloody Mary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have to do it every day to be worth it. A lot of times I just don't think it is. And it can be the price of the cruise many times. Wi-Fi is another thing. Typically, if you have some loyalty, you can get some free Wi-Fi. If you sail like Virgin, you get free Wi-Fi. Azamara, you get free Wi-Fi. Sometimes those cruises cost more, but that's another thing to do. Don't always think the cheapest cruise is the best deal. Make sure you look at what's included.
Good point.
Yeah, Wi-Fi is expensive. We pay a lot for it, but we do get discounts on most of the lines that we sail on because we have some loyalty. It's not free many times, but maybe they give us 20% off, 40% off, a free day, things of that nature. If you're staying close to a port, the cell phone works great. So just get T-Mobile and you have free international, or use Arolo and get an eSIM. Works amazing.
Yeah.
So we can put the links for Arolo down below. We use it. I'm using it right now here in Thailand. It's incredible.
Yeah, eSIMs are great because you can get it if you're just going to go to one country, you can get it for that country typically. If you're going to be all over Europe, you can get it for that region. Same with Asia. So there's a lot of different packages and different sizes that will suit your trip.
Yeah, we just had met up with some friends here, and I think they have AT&T, and they were just talking about, I think they charge them like $10 a day, for their international, whereas you have T-Mobile, and you're not doing this full time, it's free. It's included basic, and it's good speed. With this Airolo SIM we put in here in Thailand, the deal was incredible. I think we spent $15 for 30 days, unlimited data, and a phone number, which we don't normally get with Airolo. So we can have a local phone number if we need it for $15. I mean, that's hard to beat for the entire month.
It's so funny. I keep checking my status and to see how much I've got left, and it's unlimited. It's like usually never unlimited. So
yeah, a lot of times we buy like 20 gig or 50 gig or something. You can buy by country, or you can also buy region. Thank you.
Okay, so it's important to pack smart on a cruise. We like to pack light. That means different things to different people, but the key, I guess, in any packing challenge is to just have versatile clothes and shoes, things that all go together, things that will work. Layering is good for weather, so the weather can always change. So it's good just have a few different things that you can layer on or off as the temperature changes, or if the AC is blasting. Sometimes we run into that too. So we travel with the carry-on only. You definitely don't have to do that, but I have to say it is really nice when you're moving through an airport to not wonder where your bag is and if it's going to arrive. And most importantly, to not have to stand there for 45 minutes waiting for your bag to come off. So we really do enjoy carrying on with our carry-on luggage and not checking anything.
Yeah, we each have one carry-on, the maximum possible we can get into it, and one good-sized backpack. And we travel the world full-time doing that. Yeah, you do make some concessions here and there. You're not going to have multi-seasonal clothes or whatever. So we sometimes have to ship some stuff back if we change seasons. Like we just got off Christmas cruise, river cruise on Viking, which we can talk about if you have any questions. And we were more in winter back east with family. So, and then you go to Thailand, right? And it's completely different. You don't need your parka here by any means.
We really should be sponsored by UPS.
Yeah, right. Or somebody like that. But another nice thing on carry-on that people don't think about is you can roll it right onto the cruise ship. Everybody else is panicking because their bag isn't in the room or outside their door by 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 6:30. We have too, like, where's our bag? It always is gone there, but it's kind of annoying. You can't unpack. We roll our bag in. We take the elevator. The only time on the cruise is the first day that I'll allow it.
Yeah.
And then we unpack and we're ready to go at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, whatever, because we have our bag with us and we also can fly right off.
Well, yeah. Or sometimes you finally get on the ship and you just want to get into some comfortable clothes. Maybe you're wearing the clothes you wore on the plane and you want to put shorts on and you have to wait. You have to wait for the bag to come. So yeah, it's really nice to take it with you.
We recommend it. Give it a shot anyways, if you can. Onboard credit, look, there's a lot of different things. We won't go through all the details. We have other videos on this, but there's definitely different things you could do on board. All ships have sales while you're sailing. So if there's something that you want to do, but you're like, I just want to spend that money, you might be surprised when you walk. They may throw some deals at you. They always have the guys or the gals who are at the reservation desk for the specialty restaurants. You can kind of tell when those desks are really out there a lot, that they have not filled them up. Walk up to them and say, hey, do you have any deals? That's all. It's not a barter system. You're not going to be like, going back and forth, but you'd be surprised how often they might go, yeah, if you come at 6 o'clock on this day, we can do a 2-for-1. We can do 50% off. Ask, you just never know. And you'll be able to tell depending on how full the ship is or how much they're trying to really push the upsells. You can get some deals for that. Loyalty programs, you always get deals. You have a whole slate of benefits. We use them every single time we sail, and it saves us good money in a variety of different categories. And then get some onboard credit. We just booked like that MSC. I think we got like $350 in onboard credit. Use a cruise-only travel agent. You will always get the best deal possible that anybody can get. And on top of that, that cruise-only agent should be giving you more. They should be giving you some kind of either discount. More than likely, many times they can't discount the cruise fare because that's some deals they have with the cruise lines, but they actually can give you back some of their commission. And we always get that in the form of onboard credit, maybe 5 to 10% of what the cruise costs. It's just free money back in your pocket that you can use for stuff that you spend on board. And you will spend something on board. And maybe that's a way to splurge once you're on board. So definitely get some of that. Excursions, I highly recommend doing it yourself on excursions if you can. There are some that, yes, you want to do the cruise lines excursions. You're in a place you don't trust, or you're worried about getting back to the ship. But we really recommend using things like Viator, Get Your Guide. We'll put some links down below. Or my favorite thing these days is to use AI. ChatGPT, we have a video on that. Put a link down below. I want to do an updated video on using AI because some things have changed. They've gotten better. Quick word of advice. If you're using ChatGPT to do an excursion, and we have some videos on that, it's awesome. It doesn't make the best recommendations for food, for restaurants, because, I don't know, it picks kind of crappy restaurants a lot, places I just wouldn't eat. So use Gemini, which is Google. So if you just Google Gemini AI, it's also, you can use it for free. It makes way better food recommendations. So you can say, hey, give me the best, like I've done this, give me the best places with pad thai in Bangkok, we're in the IHG Staybridge Hotel. It'll figure out all that. It'll make sure that it's close. It'll tell you how far it is. You can even ask how to get there. It's really amazing. So it's the best thing ever. So use that for sure. You'll save a ton of money on excursions. Not going to spend a lot of time on this. I'm not a huge fan of cruise line credit cards. If you have all the other great cards, it might be something to consider. I can tell you we don't have one. I've been offered them all the time. I still think you should go for the reward credit cards, the real ones, the Chase
Venture X.
Venture X, the Chase Sapphire Reserve, the Preferred. Do your final payments on these because you'll get 2x or 3x points. If you have a $3,000, $4,000 final payment, you can get 12,000 points on one of these cards that you can then transfer and help go for the business class flight to get there at some point. Most of them, all of them have great opening bonuses. That's the way that I would go. We've done a lot of videos and talks about this. If you have any questions, put those in the comments. We'll kind of cover that. Price tracking, Cruise Watch, cruise line. This is a big thing. We've also done a video on this for everybody who books rentals, rental cars, hotels. I would always do the ones where there's no penalty for canceling, if you can. Cruise lines are a little touchy with that these days. But if you haven't made your final payment yet and the cruise has gone down, there's no reason you can't get them to match it or give you some onboard credit because they want your final payment. Once you've paid final payment, unfortunately,
you have no leverage.
Yeah, you have no leverage. You've lost your leverage. But before final payment, you can definitely change things. I do it all the time with hotels. It doesn't always work, but I check the fares or the rates, I should say, the nightlies once every few weeks, once a month, if I booked way in advance.
You'd be surprised at how much hotel rates change.
They go down a lot, especially if it's getting close to the date. We've saved a lot of money this year in 2024 just by cancel and rebooking. I don't look at it every day. I just don't have time. But, for the few times that I check, not quite half the time, but 30, 40% of the time,
it pays off.
It pays off. It's really one of the best bits of advice I can give you that can save you a lot of money. I don't like any more bookings like on hotels where it's no refund available. Unless it's literally like within 30 days, your plans will change. You might decide to go somewhere else. You might have to cancel. One time when you get stuck with that, all the savings for the year that you got for that little 10% discount is wiped out. So I would almost never book a hotel or a car rental or whatever that I can't cancel. Cruises a lot of times do have non-refundable. It's small, but they almost always will let you move the booking to another one, worst case.
Yeah. Okay. So off-peak dining, obviously it gets busy during the peak time. So if you can do later night before or after the time when everybody eats, then it's better.
Sometimes, not always. I mean, honestly, it's just they may throw deals at you. Like I said, you may walk up to the desk and they might be, well, if you'll do a sitting at 5 or 5:30, we're doing, before 6 o'clock, it's 40% off because it's not prime time. This happens sometimes. I can't guarantee you all the time. But it's sometimes you'll see this advantage. Other than that, I don't think you'll see much, but you might get thrown a deal.
Exactly. And sometimes we do go to specialty restaurants for lunch instead of dinner.
That's a good one.
They're a lot easier to get into and not so busy.
It's the same meal, pretty much. That's a good hack, actually. It's the same meal. We've done this at the sushi restaurant, Italian restaurants. Just realize you'll probably have a small dinner because you're going to eat a lot for that. So a big thing is just combine a lot of these together, get on some lists, combine them together. You don't have to use just one. You can use loyalty, the cruise only agent, book in advance for some savings, book on board for some other savings. You roll all these up together it's pretty slick, kind of what you can do.
Yeah, book your cruise and then you watch your email for the big deal on the spa. And it's great because you can book that in advance. And then when you get on the ship, you can really enjoy it because it's paid for already.
Absolutely. So those are our top tips. Let's switch back over. Let's answer some of the questions. Any final questions? Go ahead and put those in. Let's see. So Terry says, hard to coordinate a good flight deal to match up with a cruise deal. Any suggestions? Yeah, it's a good question. So I think what you're maybe asking is if you're doing a repositioning, you do have to get there, right? Or you end up, right? Let's say you go Florida to Rome. How do you get back from Rome, or vice versa? Even other ones as well. So good flight deals. I do a video on ways that we have, a couple of videos we did, where the way we've used points before, or not before, all the time. So I think we're going to link those down below so I don't go through a whole points training session here. But that's my number one strategy is getting reward credit cards, getting the sign-up bonus, and learning how to use those points from Chase, from Capital One, and from American Express.
Right.
Those are valuable. You can transfer those points to probably dozens of different airlines. The second thing you need to do is, well, how do I find out where to redeem those points? Whether you want to do business class or coach, the coach will go by far the farthest. You get a number of free flights for one sign-up bonus. I would use, what's it called from Daily Drop? Their
Daily Drop Pro.
Yeah, I would use Daily Drop Pro.
Daily Drop Pro is a brand new tool from October that helps you find the best redemptions on those kinds of things, hotels and flights.
Yeah, it's like using Google Flights, but for rewards. We used to do this ourselves manually. It was horrible. It would take hours and hours and hours, to the point I actually hired somebody to do it for us because it would take so long. I just couldn't keep track of all the different programs. Now with like Daily Drop Pro and a couple others, and we've had some videos on that, so much easier. You say, I need to go from, Florida to Rome and look for economy on this date, or I'm flexible. And it'll find all the different programs. You can tell which credit card points you have. Say, hey, I only have Venture X points. No problem. It'll just show you the programs that you can transfer to. And sometimes you have a transfer bonus. We had a redemption here recently that we did on business class on Virgin from the US to Europe. And they had a transfer bonus going on of 40%. I forgot which credit card. I think it literally cost us like 45,000 points each, which under 100,000 for 2 business class flights on Virgin Atlantic is amazing. Now that's about as good as it gets. But there was deals on premium economy, and there was deals for like 25,000 miles on economy. And
it was on that one date, though. I feel like the dates around that were really high, and then it was just that one weird date.
Yeah, move the date a little bit is if you can get there a day earlier or whatever. Sometimes that's all you have to do. So check a couple different dates. You'd be surprised. Like Monica said, it just happens to be one day is 40,000. The next day you check is 250,000. That's definitely something to do. Google Flights, and I did have a video on how to find really great deals on Google Flights. Hopefully we'll keep remembering all the video links to put down below. That's another suggestion. All right, great question. Let me see what else we got here. Let's look at this one. Wife and I are traveling Azamara Quest in March. Beautiful. Have we been on Quest? We've been on all Azamaras but one.
Yeah, I know I think we might have. We've been on Journey and Pursuit.
Journey Pursuit. Onward. We've been
Onward.
on.
Okay, so that's the one we have not done.
Yeah, they're all roughly the same. From Lisbon to Barcelona, we've done that sailing, haven't we? Or
we've done it on Azamara.
Did we go Barcelona, Lisbon?
No, we sailed out of Lisbon.
Oh, we did. Okay.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. That was a really fun trip going. I'm not sure if you do this.
I think you do. I think that's when we literally sailed right up the river to Seville and then docked right there in town. That was great. And you go through some locks. It'll be like the walls will be like right beside you, but you just go
you can
right
reach out and
up.
almost touch them. It's crazy.
Yeah, it was because normally the big ships, they have to dock in Cadiz and then you take a bus or something to get to Seville. So it's easy.
Yeah, big advantage of Azamara. A lot of times they can be right up in like a river cruise kind of in the town, which is really
We did one out of Ireland, and it was actually docked right in the city of Dublin, right on the river.
The Uber guy didn't believe us when we gave him the address. He's like, no, that you're in a cruise ship. That's not right. And then we pull up and there's the ship. He's like, huh? Anyway, it was pretty cool. Other than the crazy street we had to cross, but that's another story. Clearly we survived it, but that was crazy. Speaking of crazy streets, Bangkok, but anyway, that's another story.
It's like Frogger, isn't it? Every time you have to cross.
God, yeah. Sometimes we'll look at a place to eat and it's across the street. We're like, nah. We'll just eat here. Another bit of advice for the independent tours, and we've done this quite a bit. We used to go on Cruise Critic a lot and find our sailing. I forget what do they call it on Cruise Critic. There's roll call. So you can find your roll call, join that. It's free. And people will be sharing tours, and you can find other people that will join you if you need 4 people. What I've noticed is Facebook now, Facebook groups is even, I think, bigger. Mm-hmm. So look for the Facebook group from the specific cruise. There may not be one because Azamar is a smaller ship. But see if there is one. It's usually pretty easy to find people. Like when we did an Azamara in Israel and Egypt, I was able to coordinate with a really nice group of people.
That's right. Our excursions.
For like 3 or 4 days in a row, we all traveled together. I didn't know any of them, but it was awesome.
Yeah, some excursions, they need a group and you're just 2 people. So if you can get a group of people together, then you can get that done. And it was great. We had a couple of days worth of excursions with these guys. Same people, and it was so much fun. It
looks like, Michael, you're smarter than us. You've already joined several Facebook groups. Mm-hmm. That's awesome. That's one place. But try Cruise Critic. I'm not sure if they have a roll call for your cruise on Azamara. They definitely always do on the bigger sailings, but they might on this. So that might be another place to look, and maybe you can find. Sounds like you just need a couple more people. That's what I would recommend.
Yeah, I think Facebook is the best way to connect in advance. I don't really know of another way. Do you? To connect with other people.
Facebook cruise. And Cruise Critic are the ways I've done it. Maybe somebody else here has some other ones. There are some apps, I can't remember, and I haven't used them very much, that have some community. Maybe Shipmate, is that one? Powered by cruiseline.com. Maybe look at that. They sometimes have feeds and everything. They may have some community. I'm not 100% sure, but I do see there's a lot of people on here, like socially, as I'm looking at. I know you guys can't see it.
Shipmate.
Yeah, try Shipmate, the app. And I said SHIP, by the way.
I know.
In case I wasn't clear. Anyway, let's see. Terry says, if you go inside cabin, yes, you will have the opportunity to upgrade if they have room. We almost always get offered an upgrade. Even let's say we book a balcony, we always get offered upgrades. My advice is always this. And this is from learning, because I kind of got caught up in the frenzy a little bit before. And I was like, why did I end up paying that? Mm-hmm. So when you book the inside, get the quote of what the upgrades, like if you were to book ocean view or balcony or suite, whatever you think you might want to upgrade to, know what that difference is. Don't bid more than that difference. Otherwise, you would have been better off just initially booking that and not had the stress of it. I like to say, know that difference. And personally, I wouldn't want to spend more than 50% of that difference on my bid. Maybe less. I mean, maybe some of you are like, hey, I just do minimum bid. And if it happens, it happens. If not, if not. But at least if you do it and you get it, you can feel like, awesome, I save 50%. Yeah. I mean, maybe you get caught up in it and you want to do 75%. Just make sure you save money on the bid. We had a
it's easy to overpay.
I can't remember which one it was. We had either a cruise we just did or whatever. It was crazy because the ship was pretty full. So what they wanted for, like, we had a balcony cabin, standard balcony for a suite upgrade, was nuts. I would have never paid it. But, if the ship is pretty full, the deals aren't going to be that great. But we've done Azamara. We've had it inside, and we've been able to bid for a balcony, and it's worked out really well. And it wasn't that much more. I think we have this Oceania coming up. I looked at it. I think I put a bid in to go from our standard cabin to concierge, because it was like a bit of like $300, because I added up the perks for like laundry, which we always need traveling full time, and a couple little things. I'm like, all right, that's worth $300. But then they had another upgrade into like maybe a suite. It was not worth it at all for port intensive. So
make sure you know what you're paying before you bid.
Yeah. Also, sometimes when you get the upgrade, look at what they exclude. Sometimes they'll go, oh, well, suites get to book in advance, restaurants 60 days in advance. You're not going to know your upgrade until like a week before. So you don't get some of the perks. Also, sometimes there'll be like certain access you don't get. So be careful, because sometimes they'll take some things away if you're an upgrader, and it makes it not as worth it. Yeah, Olga, so do this. Let me put on the screen a couple things. Roll call. Yeah, so first thing is we do have a free download. So if you go to digitalromance.com/free, it's super easy. I promise we don't spam you to death. All we do is we just remind you of, like, when we have a live, or if we have a new video, we'll just send you an email. And we have a couple recommendations. So once a week, once every other week, you might get an email. So no every day. But a ton more tips are in there. But if you go to digitalromance.com, once you get there, go to the contact us, and you'll see our email there. We don't always put the email out like in YouTube, because there's a lot of people that scrape emails And, then you get a bunch of spam. I don't want spam either, just like you don't. So if you go there, send us a quick email. Monica gets those and she will reply back with all of the information of this agent. We have a couple things we'd like you to do first because she can get overwhelmed.
This is our cruise only travel agent.
Yeah. She's awesome. She's to the point. She's all business. That means you kind of need to know a little bit of what you want. I wouldn't typically say, oh, I want to go to the Caribbean on a cruise sometime next year. What do you think? That's not really what she's there for.
Yeah.
You need to do some of your own research, be a little bit more specific. Then you're going to get the best deal, right? They don't have to work super hard and put hours of time in to help you plan. They're just going to give you a kick, whatever price overall. Anyway, that's a link I would definitely go to. I know there were some questions on cards. So if you go to digitalromance.com/top cards, these are some of our favorite cards overall and what the sign-up bonuses are. There's a grading system there, how good the offer is. So that can be a really helpful link as well. So maybe jot that down. You can go to that after. And then my current favorite card that I use the most personally is the Venture X from Capital One. But if there's two of you, you get one, and like Monica's got the Sapphire Reserve, which is an awesome card as well. So we kind of team up and we have different cards. Like I have the Hyatt, the Globalist, whatever card, and then she'll have something different. So, and we'll kind of compare hey, how many points do you have? Well, we were trying to do a business class flight back from somewhere. I can't remember with all the planning this weekend. And, we decided to see who had the most points. And sometimes one credit card company will have a transfer bonus. The other one doesn't. So it's nice to have more than one program.
Versatility.
Yeah, as well, for sure. Let me jump back into comments real quick. Yeah, Olga said roll call worked great. So yeah, do the roll calls on Cruise Critic. I have had so much success over the years on Cruise Critic. I just have noticed with Facebook, sometimes they've taken over a little bit on some of the bigger ships, but use both. And you definitely can find some things. Plus people share really great hacks and tips, things to do in different ports. So that might be something to do as well. So yeah, thanks for that, Olga. Awesome. All right. I think we are about at the end of the questions. I'll do one final call out for any final questions for any of you guys listening live.
Now's the time.
Now's the time. Maybe share what you're doing in 2025, what your travel plans are. We'd like to hear it. Anything else we wanted to share with them about our plans for 2025 as I think through this? What are we doing the second half of the year?
I know. I was just trying to think.
Summer, I think we're mostly in the U.S. We're going to do the Celebrity Beyond because we just want to go on one of their new ships. So we're going to try the Beyond out of Florida in the summer. I mentioned we booked our first MSC, but that's not till January 2026.
Yeah.
We'll be back in Europe Q4. Maybe we'll get back to the Christmas markets. Christmas markets are amazing if you've never done them. A river cruise makes it super easy, super convenient. We did Viking. We are going to post a review video on Viking. We had pros and we had cons. There's things we love. There's things we didn't love at all. And we do want to kind of disclose some of that. So we will have a video on that if you're curious. You don't have to do a river cruise to do Christmas markets. You can do it on your own. We run into people doing it both ways, but really fun time. Awesome.
Yeah, we got this really cool Islands of the Mediterranean cruise on Azamara in the summer or later in the year, maybe early fall. That goes to a lot of the islands, not just Mallorca, but also like Corsica and Sardinia. I don't know. I'm excited about that one. Capri.
Yeah, it's kind of places we haven't been. We've been to most places in Europe, a few countries we haven't, but it's cool when we get some new cities. I think even that MSC one, I want to try the yacht club, but one of the big things was it actually hit some cities we've never been to, which is cool. Yeah, Jeff's saying Facebook groups are great. Oh, this is cool. Yeah, Jeffrey, book at Christmas Markets 2027.
Wow, awesome.
Yeah, and you're smart. Book early. We booked pretty early, and we didn't have much to choose from. However, a bit of advice, and maybe, if you go towards the tail end of the season or maybe early on, the prices are lower. So it's also a good way. And you can get some onboard credit too if you go through a river cruise only agent. We used a company called Affordable Tours. I think it's affordabletours.com.
It is, yeah.
They were good. My agent that I worked with is no longer there, but the person who took over, she was really good. So, I got the same you would have got Booking Direct. They threw a few extras in as well.
Yeah, because you don't see big discounts on river cruises like you do maybe on ocean cruises. So using an agent is probably a good idea.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think we had the last sailing before Christmas, probably. So
we did. So we ate all the rest of the food in the Christmas markets. One of the weirdest things about this cruise was, I don't know, we have carry-ons, so we don't have room to buy a lot of stuff. I know for some of you may really want to be about the shopping there, which I get. There's cool stuff in these markets. We're about things that we buy that we can consume, eat and drink. So we would talk to people on the ship and we're like, oh, did you eat anything at the market? No, we didn't eat anything. We like ate our way through these markets. We ate our way through these markets.
That's kind of why I was there. Yeah. You know what I mean? We're not bringing back a bunch of stuff. So, but it's all about, I mean, not just Glühwein, but there's all different kinds of like warm, comforting beverages, like with Aperol, and there's hot chocolate, and then there's all the food. Every place had a little bit different mix of specialty foods, you know, I mean, local specialties.
It's pretty cheap. Amazing. It was not expensive. We did not spend very much at the markets at all, I didn't think. I thought it was reasonable. Yeah. It didn't feel like I was being gouged.
No, it's not like, you know, when you go somewhere like a sporting event and nachos are $10 or something like that. No, it's not like that at all. So
yeah. The other thing is I get it a little bit because the river cruise, this guy has good food and they give you 3 meals a day. So, you know, if you go to a Christmas market and load up, we skipped some meals. We skipped at least 2 dinners, most of the lunches, but you know, that's what we were there for. But that's up to you. Yeah, river cruise will feed you really nice. They always get you back for the meals. Best point card, I would say right now for me, I would use the Venture X. Because the points can be redeemed in multiple different places. They have nice lounges. You get priority pass as well. You get 2x in all your travel purchases, 2x in every charge, I believe. So you can rack up points pretty quick. But also consider, you can go here for some other cards. I don't have a link directly for Chase. Sapphire Reserve is expensive. It's like $5.95 a year. So you got to really make sure you would use those perks. But Sapphire Preferred from Chase has the same redemption values and everything, and it's $100, I think, a year. I think that could be the better way to start. Like I would do like Preferred from Chase and then Venture X. That's a really nice 1-2 punch right there. Yeah, I love that one. All right, let's see what else we got. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that. Love travel. Really enjoy your videos on repos and transatlantics. Yeah, we'll keep doing those because obviously these deals expire. I know sometimes we put them out and some of those deals go quickly. We get a lot of people watching those videos. So we'll try to keep those updated as much as we can. Let's see. Somebody here, places on the list. Where are they going?
Oh, the Island Princess, LA to Cape Town, the mother city. And I would love to do that. That's 2 segments of the World Cruise.
Wow, nice.
We finally made it down to Cape Town. Well, we were supposed to go I think COVID year, and we had to postpone it, but we finally got there in 2022 and it was worth the wait. So that'll be amazing.
Yeah, you can tell we're really bad YouTubers because you're right. We should have asked everybody at the beginning to like the video because I know if you like the video, it reminds people who meant to come to this live to show up at the live.
Yeah.
Like the video, please.
Please like the video.
Give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. We're really bad YouTubers. We're going to get better at this.
We are. I know. We're trying.
Yeah. Hey, we almost have 6,000 subscribers. So.
I know. That was, and we got most of them this year. So that was.
All of them this year, pretty much.
Yeah, it's been a great year.
Yeah. So we appreciate it. We appreciate everybody's loyalty.
Last year, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. 24. All the great questions. You know, let's see, 2025. Let's end the year with 25,000 subscribers. How about that?
Okay.
So that means we need to learn how to tell people to like the video.
Tell all your friends.
Yeah, tell a lot of friends, please.
Yes.
Going into Sun Princess in March from Florida to Barcelona. Yeah,
that'll be awesome.
Some really nice deals on Princess. Sun Princess, isn't that a newer ship? Sorry, my Princess knowledge is not that great.
Isn't that the way it was refurbished in 2023? Am I thinking of the right one? I believe so, but it'll be awesome. Going in the springtime, I feel like from the US to Europe, it's usually pretty smooth. I can't believe we went Royal Caribbean, Odyssey of the Seas in April of last year from Florida to Rome. And I've never seen the Atlantic just so glassy and smooth. It was not a single white cap. It was really nice, smooth sailing.
Yeah, it was incredible. Coming back was a little different, but going was
Coming back awesome. Was a little rocky, but.
Yeah, we did the same ship there and back, which was really interesting. We saw a lot of the same crew, which was really fun.
Yeah,
that was unique for us that we're still on the ship.
Yeah,
and Sun Princess brand new. Yeah, that's that brand new one. That looks really nice. We need to get back on a Princess. We don't have one booked. We used to do them quite a bit, and we just haven't booked one in a while. But if you have some shares of Carnival Cruise Lines, that's another little hack. You do get onboard credit. If you have shares of Royal Caribbean, you get onboard credit.
Stock shares.
Yep, stock shares.
Yeah.
So if they ever sell off a lot, I know the stock market's been crazy, but if you see a big sell off on one of those, it might be swoop in and get 100 shares. Because if you cruise regularly at any cruise regular at all, I think it's like $200 onboard credit, whatever it is, it's really worth it.
Yeah.
We have shares on Carnival, so we can use Holland, Princess, Carnival, and get onboard credit. We don't have any. I sold my shares, Royal Caribbean, because I bought them right when COVID hit and super cheap, and they went up so much. I sold them, but I shouldn't have. I should have just held on to it. I forgot about the onboard credit, so don't make my mistake.
And we are doing Princess in April in Japan.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, that'll be our first Princess in quite a while. Sorry,
it'll be the first Princess in maybe 10 years, but it'll be great. I love Japan.
Yeah, Jeff, I think in the next 2-3 weeks we're going to work on that for sure. Yeah, so we'll get that one out to you, and then $250 onboard credit for 14 days. Okay, awesome.
That is awesome.
That's really cool. All right, I don't want to keep everybody too long. We're about 50 minutes. I think that's probably enough time. You guys were amazing. Thanks for all the great questions.
Yeah,
we'll do another live soon, hopefully. And yeah, we appreciate it. Let me see if I have a last question here. Want to be sure to thank you and your representative. Wow, that's amazing, Tom. Congratulations, Trans-Pacific. I expect you to come to another live and tell us how these start to go for you.
Exactly.
Overall, that'll be really cool to see.
Yeah, we love feedback. We love hearing from everybody.
Yeah, it's great. We just want to have this little community and have some fun with this. So appreciate you all being here. Yeah, if you don't mind sharing it with other people you know that travel.
Yeah,
that'd be awesome.
Exactly. Yep.
All right.
And like and subscribe if you haven't.
We'll see you guys out there.
See you out there.
Take care, everybody.